Guild Wars 2 has over the years become famous for their implementation of the mount system and the way they are used in the game. But what if I told you that Ashes of Creation is planning to fight them for exactly that spot, to become the best mount system in any MMO? It's true. Let's have a look at it. My name is Christian and welcome to the Lazy Tavern. I can inform you that there is 5 different types of mounts that we'll be looking into. You might think, but wait, isn't there only 3 tires? Yes and no. But before getting started, let's have a little background first. Mounts in Ashes of Creation will primarily come from the profession animal husbandry. Animal husbandry will have the possibility to breed the individual mounts, pets and livestock. All mounts will have various rarities, as a mix from their tamed animals as well as the bred ones. These rarities will influence directly how their skills is behaving, how their visual impression is, and you heard me right, skills. So each mount can have up to 4 different skills, which will have a wide variety of applications. Examples would be sprint, a little charge with a CC, maybe a double jump, a little shield to yourself, a small boost of some variety, or maybe some offensive. This gives you the option to turn your mount into exactly the sort of mount you are looking for. That being an initiation vehicle, a utility vehicle, or maybe an escape vehicle. Other than the cool rarities and abilities, you'll also be able to armor up your mounts. This is with various saddles, different body armor to your mount, or whatever you can get your hands on, really. And while it looks cool, you can even dismount your mount and have it walk beside you with its customized name. So let's have a look, how do you actually get the mounts? In order to unlock the mounts in particular, you have to do a quest in your start area. When this is done, you can purchase mounts from mainly players with animal husbandry. When these players are focused on breeding the perfect mount, there will be genetic traits that can be manipulated through breeding. Success rates and rarities will most likely affect the most desired traits. However, as you see here, there's multiple variables for the breeders to consider. It's not only speed and abilities. So let's dive into the genetics without making it too complicated. For this example, you'll get 2 genes, where one being the dominant one and the other one less dominant. This means in the first square, no matter how you breed these, it will turn out the same. However, in the second square, you'll see that once in a while, the lesser dominant gene will come to show, and thereby we have created the lesser common trait we were looking for. Let's transfer this into the Vera version, and we have how the players will be fishing for the desired traits for all sorts of various areas. But can you imagine having to do this for multiple traits or even multiple looks? If you want to know more about this subject, I can recommend Ashes of Relations video on this subject. I'll throw a link to the video down below. Mounts comes in 3 different tiers outside of the rarities, with an additional 2 unique mount types. Now let's get started, shall we? The ground mount will be the most common mount type, offering various types going all the way from a snail to a classic horse, as well as a rhino. Other than traditional mounts, you'll be able to pick up mules. Mules can be used to transport your goods between cities, or maybe in the future be an extra passenger for a taxi service. When your mount is used in combat, they will take the damage first until it dies, and then you'll be dismounted. If your mount dies, there's various ways to get it back. However, you cannot just resummon it again during that battle. That also means that you can summon your mounts in combat. Next up we have the gliders and the jumpers. The gliders and the jumpers will be the mount that you practice getting around the map efficiently with, offering unique gameplay with both its takeoff and landings and the skill required for these. All gliders will have wings of some sort, and as the individual mount levels up, It will increase the gliding distance. Even though it's stated that Tier 2 mounts will have wings, I cannot help but hope that the jumpers will be a thing in Ashes of Creation. These would provide some unique features to get around. They could be able to jump similar to the ones in Guild Wars 2, or possibly jump horizontally for engage or disengage. This would add some cool features. For the last tier, we have flying mounts. Let's make one thing really clear. Intrepid wants people to stay on the ground, to experience the world, and take part in the conflict that might occur on the roads. Therefore, flying mounts will be incredibly rare. This is a design choice I really love. When Blizzard in 2007 introduced the flying mounts with the Burning Crusade expansion, they introduced a system that allows you to skip all interactions with players and just make you able to fly over anything basically. I think going this direction with the design choice of having the gliders and the ground mounts is really good. Traveling on land just makes you feel more into the world and more invested and rewarding in general. Flying mounts will however be obtained by mayors of the great cities, kings and queens, as well as time-limited mounts in rare drops from some of the world bosses. Another cool little mechanic where you take this egg from the world boss to your skilled proficient in animal husbandry, and they breed out a majestic beast that will have a time-limited usage as a flying mount. Very cool. It has been stated that only 10 to 20 flying mounts will be present on any server at any given time. With 8,000 to 10,000 concurrent player, that is as low as 0.01% of the player's base who will have these mounts, hence making it incredibly difficult to obtain one, as well as seeing a flying mount in the game. You can say what you want of this approach, but I like it. Moving over to the water mounts. The physics implemented for Ashes regarding mount is that they will be slower in water and faster on land. For the water mounts, it's the other way around. You will be slower on land, but really take off as soon as you get into the water. They can dive and make an excellent submarine for the naval combat. Next on the list, we have group mounts. You heard me right, group mounts. Let's hear from Steven Sharif, the creative director of Ashes of Creation. What is the plans for group mounts?
Normal mounts, single-player mounts will have specific skills that you level up that pertain to you as the writer, whereas the group mounts will have specific skills that can only be utilized by characters who are currently in the seat of a passenger position. So there'll be unique passenger positions that have correlating skills.
Ever seen this clip and fantasized how it would be to control such a majestic beast? In Ashes of Creation, even though very rare, this might become a reality. Imagine this scenario. You're defending your node from a siege, and suddenly scout multiple of these creatures storming your castle. It will for sure make things interesting, as require some strategic planning for taking them down or making sure they do not reach the gate. And at the same time, you can imagine teaming up with your buddies just to storm a castle while mounted an elephant. What a time we would have. In Ashes of Creation, each mount tier can be equipped with a suitable skin. This is the one part that really concerns me. This means that you can't never really guess or make an estimate how your opponent's mount is gonna behave. So let me visualize this for you. In this example, you see a player riding a fearsome brew bear towards you. However, under the skin it might be a cute little silk fur dune hunter. Maybe a badass steer, a fox of the pyre, or just a traditional horse. Even though most of these are skins, you won't be able to tell which animals you are about to fight. And this could be problematic. Steven Sharif clearly stated that this is a design choice. You have to fight your opponent to understand their mount. If this is really a good approach, I can't tell, I will have to play first, but if you have a comment on it, leave a comment down below. For the skins itself, Intrepid has made it clear that the best skins will be available throughout the game. Best being the most detailed or most exotic or best looking in some regards. However, it still concerns me that you can just change your appearance of your mount. What I really want to see in Ashes is for Ashes to incorporate the mounts into a dedicated part of your player. meaning that you use them actively in combat. And rely upon your mounts in various situations. Imagine you and your buddies about to fight the Elder Dragon of Flame, but in order to reach him, you'll have to make use of the gliders or fire resistant mounts to pass the deadly magma surrounding the majestic beast. We know resistances will be a thing, so could this become a thing? Or in this scenario, while fighting the Elden Dragon of Tundra, you are forced to mount up while the dragon takes off, in order to either protect yourself by your mount's defensive abilities, or use the mobility to maneuver the Frost Blast on the ground. I hope they will incorporate something like this, fingers crossed. Nonetheless, Ashes of Creation have an exciting and refreshing take on the mounts, and I can't wait to try them out. Stay warm, and see you again at the Lazy Tavern.